McGregor and Nurmagomedov are still at it. McGregor and Khabib continue their war as they continue to go at each other wherever they get the opportunity. This fight has the attention of UFC fans and seems to be nearing no end anytime soon. Will this lead to a showdown in the octagon? Here's everything you need to know. The latest in the McGregor and Nurmagomedov spat. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor are still embroiled in their highly publicized spat, which appears to be showing no signs of abating. In January 2021 in Abu Dhabi, McGregor and Nurmagomedov were staying at the same hotel before the main event of UFC 257 when McGregor lost to Dustin Poirier. Nurmagomedov was in town to help his cousin Umar, who won a UFC Fight Night bout on that Wednesday. Nurmagomedov was in town to work the corner of his cousin Umar. The two did not come into contact with one another, but UFC security was aware of the possibility of a confrontation. McGregor stated, "What I will say is, as long as we fight again, there will be no issue. That's all there is to it. I'm not sure what'll happen if he continues to flee. We'll have to wait and see what happens." But then Nurmagomedov was still the UFC lightweight champion, but McGregor did not believe he would hold on to the title for very long. "I would make the case, if that man is continuing to dodge this and dodge the commitment of competing again, the title should be stripped and Poirier and I should be engaging in a title fight," McGregor stated. "But I'm confident that it'll happen after this fight. I'm looking forward to hearing the explanations or hearing what will be stated after the battle. But I think we'll see a title strip." Since McGregor's defeat to Dustin Poirier, his public attacks on Khabib have grown far more frequent and intense. Some may say that McGregor cannot handle losing. The Russian fighter hasn't been holding back either, as after his recent battle with Pedro Munhoz, he launched a verbal attack on both McGregor and Jose Aldo, stating he's past his prime. "He got beat up when he fought Peter, right?" Khabib wondered. "When a guy wins a fight, everyone starts talking about him. When Conor McGregor went up against Donald Cowboy Cerrone, he had the appearance of a lion. When he faces more powerful opponents, he appears to be as afraid as a chicken. Being able to battle top fighters demonstrates your worth. Not Malta, but Croatia will serve as the benchmark for the level of Russia's football team." It goes without saying that the controversial McGregor was not amused by his opponent's remarks. Does this person want to keep talking? Is there going to be another press conference? On Twitter, McGregor remarked, "You've gone and shit your pants from Cerrone your entire career. You yanked him away from me 3 times. Your father, may God rest his soul, could not believe his eyes when he saw how I defeated Cerrone in the last match. You despise Cerrone, and now you despise Aldo as well? You took off running. Silence is required." Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, Nurmagomedov's father and head coach, passed away last summer as a result of complications from COVID-19. When Nurmagomedov won his title defense against Justin Gaethje at UFC 254 in October, he announced his retirement. Nurmagomedov is the current UFC lightweight champion. Since then, he's mainly maintained the position that he is retired in interviews. However, he's left a small window open for a possible comeback in the future. "The world knows this fight is not over," McGregor said. "This war is not over. The sport needs it to happen. The people need it to happen. I'm not going to chase it if he doesn't want it. And that's it." This was not the end of the Irishman's efforts. He continued to protect Aldo. McGregor went on to say, "You and Cerrone were locked into fights since way back and you never had the courage. All you've done is run away and now you're just talking like a bitch. Aldo is a fighter 100 times better than you are and he always will be." Background in the McGregor and Nurmagomedov spat. Nurmagomedov defeated McGregor by submission in the 4th round of UFC 229 in October of 2018. There was a lot of controversy leading up to that bout, with McGregor being detained for throwing a dolly through a bus window in search of Nurmagomedov, who had hit McGregor's partner Artem Lobov a few days prior. As a result of the release of behind-the-scenes film from the moment that Conor McGregor invaded the Barclays Center in New York, footage of the Irishman attacking a bus at the UFC 223 Media Day was released. After appearing before a judge on April 6, 2018 and being charged with 3 charges of assault and 1 count of criminal mischief, the former UFC lightweight champion was released on $50,000 bail. While leaving the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, video footage emerged showing McGregor and his crew attacking a bus carrying lightweight contender Khabib Nurmagomedov, among other UFC athletes and personnel, according to the New York Daily News. The doubleter was seen hurling a number of things, including a dolly and a chair at the bus's windows, injuring fellow fighters Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg and forcing them to withdraw from that UFC event in Las Vegas. Following his arrest, McGregor surrendered himself to police, and he was observed being led away in handcuffs from a police station to a New York courtroom, where he appeared before a judge. In the aftermath of the then contentious UFC 229 fight in which McGregor lost, Khabib Nurmagomedov's manager had escalated his verbal exchanges with Conor McGregor even further back than already. During the 4th round of their UFC lightweight title fight, Nurmagomedov submitted McGregor before leaping over the octagon to attack his opponent's crew. The fight between Nurmagomedov and McGregor ended with Nurmagomedov erupting from the octagon and inciting a brawl with McGregor's entourage. Afterwards, 3 members of Khabib's entourage launched an attack on McGregor as security personnel battled to regain control of the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Both fighters were eventually escorted out of the venue by police, while 3 males were detained and later freed after being charged with assault. The management of Khabib Nurmagomedov, Ali Abdelaziz, had come out in favor of his client despite the disappointing conclusion to the event. "I want to express my heartfelt congratulations to my brother Khabib Nurmagomedov, the undisputed and undefeated pound-for-pound king, Abdelaziz wrote, "There was never a time when there were two kings, only one king." Taking aim at McGregor, he continued, "This is not the way we want to celebrate such a dominant performance. But when you start talking about people's country, family, and religion and intentionally try to kill someone like he did, and the cornermen start running their mouths afterward, this is the fight game, and shit happens." The fans were treated to an incredible fight and a fantastic show. "I'd like to express my regrets to the Nevada Athletic Commission and the governor of Nevada, and I'd like to express my gratitude to the Las Vegas police force and security for doing an incredible job. Everyone now knows who the amateur in this situation is." In the aftermath of the battle, Nurmagomedov stated that he wished to see MMA become a more respectful sport, and he expressed his displeasure with McGregor's behavior in the weeks leading up to the match. "This is a sport that is played with courtesy. This is not a sport in which people trash speak each other. I want to make a difference in this game. You are not allowed to discuss religions or countries. This is quite significant to me. Thank you for your patience as I arrive. I'm certain that when I return home, my father will beat me. Nevada, please accept my apologies. I'm sorry, Vegas." McGregor's controversies versus Nurmagomedov's conservatism. McGregor has seen many controversies over the years. He's seen allegations of sexual assault on a woman in a Dublin hotel in 2018. A second claim of sexual assault was made public in October of 2019, this time involving an assault on a woman in a car that occurred earlier in the month. Then in August 2019, McGregor assaulted an older man in a pub in Dublin. McGregor had repeatedly offered the victim a shot of his brand of whiskey, which the victim had repeatedly denied before punching him in the face. McGregor admitted to the attack and was fined €1,000 as a result of his admission. On September 10, 2020, McGregor was detained in Corsica on suspicion of attempted sexual assault and indecent exposure in connection with an incident that occurred in a pub, according to authorities. After being held in detention for 2 days while being interrogated by police, he was released without charge after being interviewed by them. After 8 months, French officials decided that there was insufficient evidence to proceed with the inquiry. In October 2020, The Guardian reported that Nurmagomedov is the second most popular Muslim athlete in the world, trailing only Egyptian player Mohamed Salah in terms of global popularity. Additionally, according to The Guardian, following his high-profile victory over McGregor, Nurmagomedov has taken advantage of his important position to further his ultra-conservative worldview. In 2018, Nurmagomedov called for a crackdown on nightclubs in his native area of Dagestan and expressed dissatisfaction with a rap concert performed in Makhachkala, which resulted in rapper Igor Creed canceling his upcoming appearances in the region as a result. The Dagestani actor Nurmagomedov spoke out against a play that had a scene in which a scantily clad woman was seducing a male in 2019. According to reports, he referred to the play as filth and advised that a government probe into its creation be launched and called for those involved to give a public apology, prompting the producer of the play to receive threats on social media as a result of his comments. Following the murder of Samuel Paty in Paris, Nurmagomedov expressed his displeasure with French President Emmanuel Macron in October 2020, stating that "It is my prayer that the Almighty disfigures the face of this creature and all of its followers for offending the feelings of more than 1.5 billion Muslim believers under the banner of freedom of expression. May the Almighty disgrace them in this life as well as in the afterlife." With that, we've reached the end of the video. What is your take on these two fighters? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.